Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Since my last video, not the vlog but the last Wednesday video, which was a zero waste tour of my kitchen, which I'll link up here if you haven't seen that already, go and check that out. I have had quite a few comments asking me to talk about how I compost. So it's really simple. The gist of it is that I just put all my kitchen waste in my compost bin, but there is a little bit more to that. But first I'd like to talk about the benefits of composting. So by making your own compost rather than using soil or buying compost or buying soil, is that it is incredibly nutrient dense. It also helps to retain moisture in the soil, and it also introduces beneficial microorganisms into the soil, which is terrific for your plants and your vegetables and whatever you're hoping to grow with the compost. So I've heard this statistic that 1/3 of landfill waste is made up of compostable materials, and so by composting you are, rather than sending it to landfills to just pile up and not rot because it's wrapped in plastic bin bags, you are rotting it in your own garden or wherever you're making the compost, and using it to then create new life, which then you can eat, and you're just becoming part of the cycle of life. So you're getting your food scraps and you're putting them in your compost rather than in the bin and rather than to the landfills, and it is going back into the earth because it's making soil and it's feeding lots of wild animal life, so like the ants and the roly-poly bugs and the worms and the flies and all of the bugs that are necessary for human life and for all life, and then it is being made into compost, which then you can plant your own vegetables or your flowers or whatever you're hoping to grow, and then you can consume again, and the cycle is repeated. So how I compost is actually really simple. So I've got my food scraps, I've been chopping up my fruit and veg, and whatever is left over, the peel or the off cuttings or whatever it is, I put into my little compost bin, which is in the kitchen, and that is basically just so that each time I chop something I don't have to go out into the garden and put it into the bin. So it's not absolutely necessary, but I have that in my kitchen, and when that fills up, I then take it out to my large compost bin in the garden and I fill it up. So I have been composting for less than a year, so far I haven't yielded any soil or any compost because it's still in the process. But after about 12 months you will find some soil. I think I'm almost coming up to a year now. I think it's a couple more months, and then I should be seeing some compost, some fresh nutrient dense compost come out the other end, and I'll be able to use it. But currently, because I'm just at the beginning stages, I have been layering dry and wet. So that means the things that are wet are tend to be the things from your kitchen, so the food scraps, the tea bags, the wet ingredients basically, and dry, which is things like dead leaves, sticks, garden cuttings of variety. And what you want to do is layer them and then keep the compost damp. So what I do is I take a watering can and I will every once in a while water the compost, and I'm not methodical about this, and I don't think you have to be. I just, whenever I remember, that's probably about once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, I'll just fill up the watering can and make sure that it is nice and damp. And that is about it. I will make sure to keep you guys updated, and when I do yield some nice healthy compost and soil, I will let you guys know. And I will be growing fruits and vegetables in my garden, and herbs and flowers and all different kinds of plants, and I will let you guys know how that goes and how it compares to the compost that I currently have, which was shop bought because I hadn't already yielded my own compost. But that's basically it. It's really simple. I don't have a big garden at all. I share it with 3 other people, so there are 4 of us in this tiny space, and I'm in the middle of the city of London, so if I can make my own compost here, I'm sure that you can make your compost anywhere. You don't even need a garden. So I know that people make compost in their own apartment buildings, so you really can do it anywhere. So I would highly recommend you get going, especially if you're wanting to grow your own fruits and vegetables, or if you have lots of plants like you need repotting or whatever. It's just a great way to reduce waste and make your own soil. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it answered some of your questions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!